Harding, is it true you can control rocks now?
Control? That's funny. I'm still trying not to drop things on my own feet. And I still don't know why this happened.
Best not to question a gift.
Is it, though? A gift?
You saved someone's life.
I know. I just wonder what's next.
Not to pry, Harding, but I hear you're hearing things. Voices.
Well, it's just one voice, really.
Join the club. Grey Wardens hear weird things when an archdemon shows up.
What's that like?
A fever dream. Muddy. Dark. Can't quite grasp it, but something's talking to you.
My voice says I should seek her out.
I don't see you have a choice. Best way to come to terms with it is to face it.
Thanks.
Harding, how bad was Demetis Crossing?
I've seen plenty of blight before, but nothing like that.
Is it true about the mayor?
I don't know what happened. It's like the gods are tempting him, seeing how weak people can be.
And Rook spared him, huh?
Balara wasn't happy about it.
I wouldn't be either. I'd have left him to die. Well, he won't get any sympathy at Weisshaupt. Hope he enjoys freezing his ass off cleaning latrines. Then he got what he deserved.
Nev wasn't so sure.
Well, I am. Rook was right to leave him out there. Harding, are you friends with this Morrigan?
Me? Friends? With Morrigan?
Then how do you know her?
I'm not sure anyone knows Morrigan. She just pops up whenever things get weird.
Can she be trusted?
Maybe. She knows things and seems to want to stop Gillenane and Elgernon.
But
we'll probably never know why.
Harding, what can you grow in that garden of yours?
Pretty much anything. The Fade doesn't care about what's possible.
What about worryweed? Ever cultivate that?
Is that for anxiety?
It causes it. Paranoia. Wardens slip it into each other's ale for kicks.
Why?
Don't know. We bore easily. What about smuggler's rose? Ever grow that?
Isn't that for thieves and pickpockets?
So they say. You wear it like perfume. Supposedly it clouds a person's mind so they don't notice you're nipping their wallet.
Planning a career change?
Wondering if it'll help me sneak up on darkspawn.
And then pick their pockets?
Maybe they've got good stuff. Harding, how do alchemists know which ingredients to combine? How did someone figure out sagebane mixed with troll moss cures toenail fungus?
Eat a bit of this, a bit of that, and see what happens.
See what happens? That's a great way to poison yourself.
That's when you eat a little bit of something else and hope it's an antidote.
What happens if you combine thistle milk, dragon root, and swamp nettle?
I'm supposed to just know that?
Just checking.
You'd turn purple? Swamp nettle affects pigmentation, thistle milk absorbs it into the blood, and dragon root buds are naturally violet.
That's specific.
Don't ask.
Do you ever create your own remedies from the garden?
Sometimes. I like to experiment.
What about invisibility? You have anything that'll do that?
You want a plant that turns you invisible?
There must be a flower or something.
It's not blood magic. Flowers don't make you invisible.
Oh.
Why do you need it?
To hide from Assan. I could finally catch a nap. Harding, how'd you know those plants would turn someone purple?
I, read it somewhere.
You tried it, didn't you? You turned yourself purple.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No. It was more of an indigo.
Sorry about Assan just showing up in your room this morning.
Oh, don't worry about it. He was just investigating the plants. Looking for a snack, I bet.
Did he ruin anything? There was dirt between his talons.
He dug up a couple things, but really, it's fine. They'll bounce back in a couple hours.
Couple hours?
Don't ask me to explain it. I think it's a fade thing. It makes them grow faster. Emmerich thinks it's because they aren't real plants, just fade stuff pretending to be plants.
I'll take your word for it. Harding, you think we could grow gingerwort truffles in that fade garden of yours?
Truffles? Do you know how hard it is to grow truffles? That's why mushroom hunters keep their foraging spots secret. Anyway, we could give it a go, but we'd need some to start for the spores. Do they prefer oak trees or some other tree?
What?
Truffles grow under roots, don't they?
Maybe. Assan just follows the squirrels.
Did you see the truffles I left in the pantry?
Barely. They disappeared straight into Assan's mouth.
Oh, good. He liked them.
I thought you said they were hard to grow.
Not on the borders of the fade, apparently. I put the truffles you gave me on top of the soil. Then I gently suggested we could use more. 2 nights later, more.
If Assan grows another head, I'm coming for you.
Assan's really going through those truffles, huh? Even the fade's having trouble keeping up.
It's more than that. I found his secret stash. Thought I'd never know.
Oh, our Mabari Contessa was really attached to an older dog that lived next door. She'd share treats with Hafter and kept saving them for him, even after he passed. Just waiting for him to come back.
Huh. So Assan's saving them for his brothers and sisters.
He'll get to share his truffles, Davrin. We'll save his family. When I was little, the Chantry sisters told us stories about griffins. Grey wardens in their bright armor flying into battle atop those majestic creatures. And then, in our kitchen, I find a griffin on his back, legs in the air, wrestling with a burlap sack.
I like to think the sack is darkspawn and he's role-playing.
I'm sure he was.
I'm not. Odds are he was trying to eat a burlap sack. Still got a bad feeling, Harding?
I try to ignore it, but something's out there, in the stone.
I can relate. Wardens sense when darkspawn are around. My skin crawls.
What do you do?
The only thing I can. Go hunt darkspawn.
Well, I think I'm ready for my own hunt.
You enjoy camping, Harding?
Love it. I grew up exploring the hinterlands.
You must be some kind of expert. A person could spend a lifetime wandering those woods.
Made me the scout I am today.
You ever get lost on a scouting mission?
All the time.
Thought you were an expert.
I am. I'm alive. An amateur would get lost in the woods and die. I made it out.
Good point. Harding, what's the longest you've been lost scouting?
2 weeks.
How'd you survive?
I ate lots of berries, found a freshwater spring, and slept in a tree canopy.
Sounds like a vacation.
It was. At one point, I recognized a valley, and then I went the other way.
That was your way out.
I like being lost. That's true exploration. What about you, Davrin? Your monster hunts must lead you to out-of-the-way places.
I once trekked a swinefoot for a week. Deep into a ravine, then a cave, then ended up in a grotto smugglers had turned into a wine cellar. Rows and rows of rare vintages, all stolen.
Wow.
Clever beast, leading me there. I couldn't resist drinking the Silent Plains Piquette. I ended up drunk and it got away.
You and Lucanus sure don't get along.
He's a killer, with a demon inside him.
I don't like the demon either, but he seems careful. As for being a killer, well, you kill monsters.
I like to think there's some honor in that. Keeps the world safe.
Maybe Lucanus just kills a different sort of monster.
And maybe he doesn't. Someone pays him, then someone else dies. It's just a transaction.
Davrin, can't you find a way to work with Lucanus?
If he keeps it professional, so will I.
I suppose that's progress.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure spite plays by the same rules. Your stone magic's pretty powerful from the sounds of it.
Yep, it's exciting, but also terrifying.
Nothing to be afraid of till something bites you.
Is that a Monster Hunter motto?
No, a Raising Griffin's motto. At least you're getting closer to your answer, Harding.
After what the Oracle said, I don't know if I want to. It's scary.
The unknown always is.
But this unknown involves titans.
At least it won't be boring.
You've got a lot of trophies. It's a little ghoulish.
Says the person who has a detailed and decorated scrapbook of kills.
My scrapbook contains practical information about potential threats.
And doodles.
Pictures are helpful.
Oh yeah? The massive spider with the giant eyes and lashes? Very helpful.
Those draw attention to a vulnerable spot.
You ever slay a giant?
Uh-huh. There were some aggressive ones in the Dales during my Inquisition scouting. And we once discovered a giant fighting a dragon.
Ooh, who won?
Everyone watching.
Did you actually encounter an envy demon? I heard they were rare.
Oh, I didn't. Some Inquisition members did, though.
Do they really look like that sketch in your scrapbook?
I couldn't tell ya. Someone else drew that picture. She described it as all butt with some mouth.
Lovely.
Ogres are the worst darkspawn to fight, by far.
No arguments there. The first wardens I fought with had a great system for dealing with them. Someone was always the cheese.
The cheese?
The cheese had one job: get the ogre's attention.
Oh, you mean bait.
If the cheese did their job, the rest of us could pelt the ogre with arrows. Easy.
And if the cheese failed?
Well...
I guess you got creamed cheese, huh?
Oh, Harding.
Did I just see you throwing griffin waste off the balcony? Just dumping it into the raw fade?
Where else would it go?
What if there's side effects?
Side effects? Like what? It's poop.
Maybe with everything that happened at Weisshaupt, you and Lucanus could shake hands and make up?
Yeah, it kind of puts things in perspective.
You need to kill gods and archdemons, not each other.
Lucanus never could have taken me.
Have you fought lots of demons?
Try not to. Flesh and blood monsters are more my thing. But I know enough to shut them down.
Same here. I still don't like him, though.
Does anyone?
You ever fight a Gamardun Stormrider?
The lightning dragons? That's more of Tasha's line of work.
Don't stand in a puddle. That's what I learned.
You were in Ferelden during the 5th Blight, weren't you?
Yes, but I was just little. I didn't really understand what it meant. When darkspawn were spotted, the village would take shelter in the chantry, and my ma would make up stories about why we were there. Like, the sisters are lonely, so everyone is here to keep them company. Things like that. How old does a griffin have to be before you can ride him?
They don't put such things in the stories about the wardens. It's less about age and more about size and discipline.
Of course. Discipline. Being thrown by a flying griffin would be pretty bad, huh?
So hold on. The Blight was the severed...
Dreams.
Right, dreams of the Titans. And they were driven mad by imprisonment?
Yep.
How do you wrap your head around that?
The same way you wrap your head around the elven gods talking to mortals as the Tevinter old gods who were really their dragon thralls. Reality is wild. Just go with it.
How many of these dead Titans underground are we talking?
Many. I don't know exactly. Why?
I knew some older wardens that said they'd seen parts of them in the deep roads, but no one was really sure.
They'd look like part of the rock. It's hard to see unless you know what you're looking for.
Which is...
I don't know. I just know it feels different.
Fair enough. Grey Wardens go through the same thing sensing darkspawn.
How long did it take you to get used to it?
I never did.
Do you ever think about your calling?
Wardens will claim they don't, but of course we do.
Everything the wardens do for us. And their final reward is just one more sacrifice.
When the time comes, the calling's almost a release. The nightmares and the voices are too much. It's when wardens refuse death that the problems start.
I wish there was something else we could do for them. For you.
We know what we sign up for.